First of all, I mean, what's kind of the feeling after the weekend? Obviously, probably disappointed to not play the last game, but ending on a 15 run.
Yeah, we needed that. I mean, we just need to be able to play relaxed a little bit, so that was good. We actually played pretty good on Friday night, just couldn't get the big hit. So disappointing because of the weather, but I thought our performance was pretty good.
What do you think was the key to that explosion on Saturday?
You know, just one guy getting a hit. It's kind of contagious both ways, and so once one gets one, and we had spoke before the game because we had left a lot of runners on base, so it was one of those where we talked about it. We really talked about just relaxing in that situation and seeing a good pitch, and we had a couple guys do that.
I haven't seen Sowers yet, obviously, so can you sort of explain what does he do well? What sort of is the profile?
You guys are giving me a hard time. Big physical kid, Mr. Indiana, in the state of Indiana last year, but he's athletic, and he has a really good makeup about him, very mature kid for a freshman. Very good defender, good base runner, and just has the ability to do a lot of things with the bat. He has a lot of tools. He's not even scratching the surface offensively right now, and he's still one of the better players out there. I think he's had about 5 line drive outs too over the first couple of weeks, and his numbers are a little misleading because he's been a little bit of a hard luck guy, but he's got a chance to be a special player.
Yes, when did you know, when you first started working with him, when did you know he'd be a guy who would impact the lineup and what he just being in the mix for early?
I knew before I got here. So he was one of those guys where, you know, he was just in the recruiting process, you knew, and he could have played pro ball, he could have done a lot of places, so you kind of know. But I was shocked with the maturity just in the fall. Just that's been more of it than his skill set. There's a ton of very skilled freshmen in the country. The makeup side to be able to jump out there and play and handle the pressures of this level of baseball is the difference.
Do you expect him to keep going like gap-to-gap power kind of guy, or do you just him hit some out of the park?
He's got some home run power. I think you're going to see more of the home runs once the weather warms up. I mean, we have, besides our first weekend at Stanford, I think our average temperature is probably 30 degrees we played here. So even if we've gone to South Carolina or this weekend, it's just been frigid. So, he hit one ball against College of Charleston that really, probably is out of a lot of parks. But he's got some power. He'll hit some home runs.
Was he a guy you were in on when you were at Louisville?
We recruited him some. That was, Tracy would beat us out on him. But he was a Indiana kid, and just a very talented player.
So this weekend, 4 games now. Who's going to pitch that 4th game?
We actually have a couple changes. We have Evan Bell's going to throw the first game against Villanova. Then we'll go Christian Morris the 2nd game against Dartmouth. Then Caleb Berriger, a freshman's throwing Saturday. And then we have Jake Kelzer will stay in his spot on Sunday. And we've actually got Scott F. Ross is scratched for the weekend, just some minor soreness. And just didn't want to risk it this early in the year. So he's out of the mix, so we're going to get some guys some opportunities to pitch.
Is Berriger starting to result in how he pitched on Friday with those innings?
That helped, but we were kind of playing on it anyway. He's kind of been that 4th guy all spring training. He is a very talented guy.
So Bell was kind of that guy then that got thrown in the mix because of the soreness?
Probably, yeah. And they're both kind of flip-flop how they pitch, but they both pitch pretty good. So it worked out for us in that way.
What's kind of separated Bell from some of the other candidates for that spot this weekend?
It depends because it's not so much Bell's been better. Some guys fit better in the pen. So we need to keep, when you play 4 games, you need multiple options at the end of the game. So Harrison and Halstead and Foote and some of those guys in Belcher who we've used at the end of the games, we're trying to keep us a nice, well-rounded approach there. And Bell kind of has the body and everything to go maybe a little bit longer.
And that process is just a precautionary thing. It's not a huge cause for concern for you guys?
Not right now, no. He's been checked out and everything's good. Just some soreness, some early season, and maybe goes back to the travel and playing everything cold, and so we're just being cautious with him.
How comfortable was Will Moulton seeing? Obviously he started the season with that and moved top of the order, now a little bit lower, and he had a great weekend.
He played great. So and he also went back to right field, so it's a very comfortable spot for him there. For Will, so we feel pretty fortunate in there with him and got back to maybe what he does best, but he played very well this week.